Oh, don't know what that was. So, last night, because of all the fires throughout the Bay Area, the smoke has been pouring over San Francisco Bay, including San Francisco. Take a look at this sunset. Can you believe how red it is? You should have seen it in person. The entire sky was just red. Some might even call it blood red, but to me it was more of an orange red. So that brings me to what we're going to talk about today. It's not the fires in the North Bay, not the deaths, but we're going to talk about what's happening to our planet. We put this board up every now and then, and what are some of the worst things that are going to happen to the planet Earth because of humanity. Let's go over to the board and I'll show you what I mean. Now, we've seen this board before, haven't we? This is the board that shows us what the impacts are of humans on the planet Earth and what the most dangerous threat is at the moment. I've got nuclear war up top there as being the closest, worst nightmare that this planet could ever have, and we're just a short ways away from it because of the Orange Man never-ending threats to other countries like Iran and, of course, North Korea. Now, unfortunately, when he starts dropping bombs, people are going to take sides and nukes are going to start flying, and that is going to end the planet. And most of the people on the planet will die a horrible, slow death because of it. And we've talked about that and why that is in the past. So, as we go clockwise, let's go over to overpopulation. This is a huge threat. We're at now 7 billion people. That's an incredible number. Ocean acidification is next, losing our fisheries, a source of food. The oceans will just become a huge stagnant fill pond with death floating all over it if we don't stop the emissions immediately. Collapsing of the economy, that's a ways off, but look at the amount of debt we have right now and what the Orange Man is going to do to that debt. We're going to put $2 trillion more on top of this. One of the second biggest threats to the planet is, of course, climate change. I'm living in it right now. The North Bay of San Francisco is on fire. A lot of people are still sitting in their homes hoping that the fire will be put out before it gets to them. Winds are expected today to climb, starting today, tomorrow, and the next day, which could flare the whole thing back up again. Food supply. When that one hits, it's going to hit like a hammer. Supplies of food will go up, but I don't see any changes since our last update on the food supply. And of course, clean water. Clean water is becoming quite a difficult thing to find, isn't it? The problem is that we're polluting so much of the groundwater with fracking and wastewater injection and things like that. We're just throwing our planet to the dumps. We feel that out of sight, out of mind is a good thing. That is not. The stuff down underground is going to seep up and pollute the water that we drink more than it is now. It's just a matter of time, isn't it? But guess what? There's one more threat that's even worse. So there's one thing that's even more dangerous than Yellowstone volcano. It's even more dangerous than 10 plane loads of people crashing and dying. This is really serious. And that is the Orange Man himself. He just yesterday took away health care for so many people throughout the U.S. It was unbelievable. He did it with an executive order. Doesn't care about the poor people. Doesn't care. I have a neighbor who has now lost her health care. She's over 60. When you're over 60, you need health care. You can't just say, I'll put it off. But he just took that away from millions of people. How cruel can a person be? I mean, really. Each country has to take care of about 10% of its population, no matter where you are in the world, no matter whose population it is. About 10% of the people need government help, subsidies. My God, you give subsidies to the oil companies, you give it to the coal companies, you give it to the tobacco companies, but you won't give it to the people themselves? Something else, man. The Orange Man, biggest world threat this planet has ever seen since 1939 to 1944. The new awakening has started. The absolute destruction of the U.S. and the world is in full progress, and we're not doing anything about it. Now, in my last video, I talked about whether humans were getting smarter or dumber. if you let a person, one person, start a nuclear world war, what does that say for people? I don't think that shows that we're smarter. I think that just shows that we're dumber, honestly. If we can get through climate change and greed, I think humans will become very smart. And, as Mark said, very wise. Right now our wisdom is tanking. So, I certainly do appreciate all you guys' thumbs up and your downs and your new subscribers. And of course your comments as usual. Let's take a quick look at the smoke here in the Bay Area. It's subsiding some, but it's returning this weekend. More high winds and high temperatures. Right now, this is the calm before the storm.